freedom of speech is the canonical right, and obligation, right? More importantly, even obligation, is that's how you figure out if you're wrong. You know, because so I sit home and I think and I think and I think, let's say, but I'm like, who am I to think? There's so many things I don't know that it's just what I know compared to what I don't know is so minuscule that it's a preposterous act just to say something. Okay, so no matter how much I sit at home and think, I'm not going to fix that. I'm going to be and then I have biases, but my temperament, and I have biases because of my malevolence, and I have biases because of my gender, my sex, let's say, since we're not so fond of that word. So no matter how much I sit home and think, I'm still going to be wrong and malevolent. So then what do I have to do is I have to talk to some other people, and I have to say, this is what I think. And it's going to be ugly, you know, because what the hell do I know? But then if I listen, people will tell me why I'm wrong. And lots of people have been telling me why I'm wrong, like a lot. And it's hard, you know. It's hard, but I've learned something from it. Like I had this revelation, let's say, about being yelled at by your father. Now, I know that you can be yelled at too much by your father. But it's like, you're wrong, man. And so someone's yelling at you, and maybe they're only 10% right. But if you shut the hell up and listen, then you can figure out where you're wrong. And then maybe you can be thankful for that. And then maybe if you shut up and listened, your father would quit yelling at you. You know, because he's wrong too. What the hell does he know? He knows how to yell at you and tell you how you're wrong. And he's throwing things at you that are probably not true. But some of it's true. And you know, if someone can tell you why you're wrong, they've given you a great gift. Because then you don't have to be wrong anymore. And you might think, well, who cares if you're wrong? But you know, there's a line in the New Testament too, is if the blind lead the blind, won't they fall into a ditch? The answer to that question, by the way, is yes, they will. And so the reason that you want to think is because thinking is how you, like when you think, you create a fictional world that's an analog of the world, and then you make an avatar of yourself to act in that world. And then if the avatar dies, you don't act out those actions, right? Well, so if you think properly, then you don't have to suffer and die. And so if you can say what you think, and people can tell you why you're wrong, and you know, to say what you think under extreme circumstances means that you're going to say things that no one wants to hear. Because those are the things you don't know about. Those are the things that are conflictual and difficult. Those are going to be hard conversations, man. And you're going to be wrong about them a lot. If you don't get to stumble forward with your stupidity, then you can't be corrected. And so there's no distinction between free speech and thinking, and there's no distinction between thinking and thriving. And so those who want to inhibit free speech do not wish for people to thrive. And I believe